Good morning, Eastern Oregon, and welcome to this July 26th version of AM Live on EOA, your connection to Eastern Oregon.
What's up?
Hey, man.
What is today? Second Monday. Second Monday. Yesterday was kind of fun, though. We got to go check out how we're going to set up for Shrine Game.
Yeah.
Which is coming really fast.
We did a scouting trip over there, and
it's right around the corner.
Yeah. And for those of you that don't understand what that means, it's just a huge carry for us to do that. Crew of 15 people, 6 cameras on that day. So yeah, big thing.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
I got an email yesterday from the president of the board, and sometime this week I'll be interviewing a guy that played in the very first 1952.
Wow.
He played in the game in 1952.
What was the equipment like in 1952?
Not great. no. Yeah, but one of the things that people don't think about, though, is like in 1952, people weren't near as big as they are today either, or as strong or as fast. Like it wasn't the same game back then. Like if you had like Aaron Donald, who's huge and really fast, playing in 1952 with that year, somebody would die.
Yeah, I don't know who's Aaron Donald. Who does he play for?
He's a Ram. He's like multiple defensive player of the year. He's like 6 foot, roughly, probably about 250 pounds. He's an edge rusher. Actually, he's probably a little bit heavier than that, and he's as fast as a running back. And he just, you wouldn't want to get hit by him in 1952 with that gear.
Yeah.
No, you have a nightmare.
So I wonder what kind of. Was that the leather helmet days?
I would imagine. Let me look it up. I don't really follow old football
right
like that because it's such a different game back then.
Right.
No, in 1952 they had plastic helmets, but they were just the little single bar.
Oh.
They weren't nothing like today. Like they're just. I'm looking at one right now. Yeah, nothing. I guess I could probably try to get one for people to see, but this is let's see. This is the Cleveland Browns helmet. If I can get it up here real fast as soon as possible. Keep talking, BC, and I'll show people this helmet real fast.
So, it's just a good day yesterday. And I remember seeing like, it used to be when you do the Super Bowl, they would have all the Super Bowl, when I was a kid, and then you'd see some of the old equipment then because they'd show a bunch of the old footage of stuff. Yeah.
You ready to see it?
Yeah.
1952 Cleveland Browns helmet.
Huh.
Yeah, that didn't protect your head much.
Yeah.
Not like the helmets of today.
Yeah.
Helmets of today are like science experiments.
Right.
They change every year.
Well, and they do look like the helmets today look like, something out of Halo. They just look,
Yeah, they're all shaped to take blunt force trauma because they're sick of people getting CTE.
Yeah.
It's just There's been multiple football players that have committed suicide with CTE and shot themselves in the chest.
Right. So they
can
their head.
prove that there was something wrong. And every time it's like, oh, wow, your brain is damaged.
Wow.
And that's as recent as Aaron Hernandez, the dude, the gang, he killed a couple of people, went to prison, killed himself in prison. He had CTE and he'd only played like 5 years in the pros. But you got to add all the
right. Well, and that's the thing. When kids start playing football, I played football when I was in 5th and 6th grade. That's and
I got a really bad concussion my senior year. We didn't have concussion protocols.
Right.
Like I don't remember the second half. I got drilled.
Did you ever get a stinger? I'm sure you did.
Oh yeah, numerous.
Yeah.
I couldn't feel my left arm one time.
I know. I'll never forget the first time. Yeah, and a stinger is when you hit somebody helmet to helmet, or it's just direct. And man, I remember it was like electrical stuff going through my entire body.
Yeah. My left arm went completely numb, just
Yeah.
numb. My neck hurt for weeks. I tell like one of the things when I coached football, we practice Pop Warner as what I coached in the middle school, and it's all about heads up tackling, right? Like you don't put your head down, you
Right.
get in the proper position. But one of the things for me with my guys was always like, dude, like it's not worth it. You guys are 8th grade, like don't hurt your body for the rest of your life. And then it's always like you always find out 8th grade is the year where you find out if kids really want to play football or not.
Right.
Because you don't know if you really want to play football until you get the snot knocked out of you. Really?
No,
that's how I judge it.
I know. All right.
Until you get just ripped by somebody bigger than you, you don't know if you want to play football or not.
Yep.
It's definitely the time where you figure it out.
Yeah.
Let's do sports real fast.
Right.
This is brought to you by Oregon Army National Guard Recruitment and Retention Sergeant First Class Lori McNeil. Her phone number's on the screen, 541-786-1459. If you have any questions, give her a call. If you're looking to join the National Guard, they got great programs, especially for high school students. Her email's on there too. Go ahead and just get a hold of her. Today, sports-wise, besides for our big project with the East-West Shrine, LeGrand Little League plays Del Norte today at 9:00, and they'll be streaming it live on their Facebook page. It's the championship game. They beat Del Norte last night, 10-0. Wow. So they have to beat them twice because LeGrand played back through the losers bracket, so they already have one loss.
Okay,
and they beat Del Norte last night, 10-0 in 5 innings. So today's the chipper, and they're coming off of a big win against them, and that's a good momentum. So, hopefully, I don't know where LeGrand is at pitching wise, because in these tournaments, it's all about pitching. Mm-hmm. You got to hit the ball, obviously, but one of the things is you have to have enough pitchers to get through the tournament, because there's really strict rules about pitch counts and how many days rest you have to have. So it's almost like a chess game with your pitchers. You have to kind of decide where your pitchers are going to pitch. They pitched Bragan Anderson last night, and he threw he only threw 55 pitches. I don't know if he can come back today or not, but he threw a shutout 5 innings, and 55 pitches in 5 innings is not very many. That's 11 pitches an inning. That's a pretty good outing. Right. And so we'll see where they're at. I don't know who they got to throw today, but hopefully they can get through this game and go on to the, represent the region for this is the boys juniors.
What time is that?
It's at 9:00.
It's going to be on their Facebook page.
Yeah, on their Facebook page. Yep.
Cool. Maybe we can pick it up.
Yeah, maybe. I don't see why not.
Yeah. Well, cool. Well, let's take a look outside. Hot today.
Hot. Yeah. It was hot yesterday.
I know. Ugh. And let's see what Gabe has to say.
Heading into the day on Tuesday, if we reach my projected high temperature in LeGrand of 100, that would tie the record for the date. Same deal in Ontario, 107 would tie it. Although Burns, I think, will exceed the record for the date, as the old record was 97 back in 2018. The rest of our region won't be in record territory, I don't think, but we'll still be really hot into the 90s and triple digits, as we are seeing lots of sunshine, although there will be some scattered high clouds the second half of the day out towards the south. Heading into the day on Tuesday for LeGrand, it does look like this will start out into the mid-70s at 9:00, making it up to the triple-digit mark at the 3:00 hour. Northerly winds in the morning will change to the northwesterly in the evening, gusting up to 30 miles per hour in spots. Heading into my short-term forecast for the Grand Ronde Valley, abundant sunshine Tuesday, making it to 100, dropping into the lower 60s overnight. We may or may not hit the triple-digit mark on Wednesday, depending how many high clouds we have in the picture.
So maybe 100 today, and that would tie the record. I think that's what he said.
For this time of year?
Yeah.
Really? It's the end of July.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd think that. Didn't we have like 13 days in a row over 100 last year? Last summer seemed like a really hot summer to me. Like, if I remember right, it was like miserable for about 2 weeks straight. I like the heat, but I don't like the extreme. Like, I like 75.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's not really heat, but I want it to be a little warmer outside than it is in the house. That's perfect.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if it's like 75, 80 out, beautiful.
It's
I'm
good.
Yeah, that's perfect golfing weather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you been golfing yet much?
I golfed once. My buddy came into town. He won so when I gave away those golfing passes,
Yeah.
he won.
Oh, that's funny.
So he's like, you have to golf with me.
Yeah.
And so I went out there and shot a little bit of video and golfed around with him. And I actually, for not having golfed since last summer,
Uh-huh.
I hit the ball pretty good. I was fairly impressed with myself. But we do have the Doug Trice Memorial coming up on August 20th, and that's the tournament that Dana and I put on, and we raised money to give out scholarships to local athletes. And last year we gave out $4,000 worth of scholarships. Doug Trice's actual memorial is this Saturday.
Oh, okay.
And so we're going to be out there, and we have a banner that Dana had made up, and we're going to just kind of hang out with the family at the memorial and celebrate a life of we renamed the softball field after him, the Doug Trice Memorial Field. There's a nice sign there. He was just a pillar in this community. He did a lot of Special Olympics. And not to mention, one of the best athletes that's ever been from here ever. I mean, he still holds records at Western Oregon University in football. He was legit, and he was a legit dude. I mean, you never found anybody that had anything bad to say about the guy ever.
Isn't that? I mean, it's just very cool, and very cool that you guys can honor him.
Yeah, it's a privilege to me, honestly. Like he was a part of, my whole family knows him. It's just part of what you do in a small town. You take care of each other, and you honor the people that are honorable.
Yep. Well, very cool. Well, we're going to have Jamie from the Remax Real Estate team here with us in just a second, right after this break. All right, we're back with Jamie Welly. Jamie, thanks for being with us today. How are you doing?
Good.
Good.
beautiful out. It feels good right now, anyways.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be hot the next time I go out.
I know. Yeah. He's in like maybe 100 today.
Yes.
It's not going to feel good at 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
No.
No.
So Jamie, you are an assistant,
A licensed
a
assistant.
licensed assistant
Mhm.
for the Remax real estate team
Yes.
downtown. And kind of tell us what you do with your job.
So I just get all the, so they'll give me an offer and I'll put it all together, get paperwork together, send it to escrow, open escrow, make sure all the deadlines are met, with the contingencies and stuff, and just follow up with with deadlines and making sure that they're doing what they need to be doing in
Okay.
the timely manner. So,
Yeah. So you're kind of the person that makes sure that the paperwork is done
Yeah.
and then things are progressing and then are happening.
yes.
But you said one of the other things that you do that you kind of specialize in is
Mhm.
in preparing buyers. Talk about that a little bit.
So either, I have strangers or just people I know, I'll talk with them and let them know that they can buy a house. Cause a lot of times people don't realize that they're paying rent is the same amount as mortgage
Mhm.
and don't realize that they can, buy a house. Or they think their credit's horrible, but they really don't know. And so, or they have no credit at all. And so I'll just kind of guide them and give them advice to either, get a credit card and, how to make sure you make your payments and don't go over 30% usage and just different things like that. And then if they have debt, then we can, once they're comfortable with me, kind of go over that and figure out, what they need to pay down and stuff. And then I'll send them to a lender. I'll give them some choices, send them to a lender. And then once they're ready, excuse me, once
That's
they're
all right.
ready, then I can, because I've gotten to know them now,
Right.
I can pair them with the perfect agent, I feel like, with whoever in the office,
Right.
because sometimes, that person might not work with that person, but I'll find them someone there. So,
Good. Do you find that sometimes people are surprised that they can buy a house?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's exciting. It's
Yeah.
exciting for them to, and that they're very thankful to, to know that, it's possible and that, it's nice to help somebody to understand that. So,
Right. And I shared this before, but that was the first house that I bought. It was
Mhm.
that way. It was like, it didn't even occur to me that I
Right.
had what it would take. And Shauna actually was the one that led us through that. That's kind of
Yeah.
how I got to know Shauna.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that was just a really, I don't know. It seemed like such a dream that was difficult. Didn't have the down payment. There's
Right.
just a
You
lot
just
of
don't
things.
think you can
Yeah.
do it.
Right. Yeah. So, well, cool. Well, is the housing market climate changing a little bit? With the interest rates going up and stuff, are we seeing that locally?
Yes. And then I'm also noticing that that it's starting to level out,
Mhm.
like the prices and stuff, maybe even coming down a little. So,
Yeah.
so that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not quite so competitive.
Right. And
Yeah.
I'm right now actually looking to buy a house myself. And so I just I don't know, I just have been waiting for something. I'm not sure what I'm waiting for, but I just
Right.
want to make sure it's right. So,
Right. Well,
it's hard to
how
know.
exciting that is for you to be able to finally
Mhm.
be getting to that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we're in an apartment, so
Yeah.
it's pretty motivating to be in an apartment.
Yeah. Well, tell me, how did you get to LeGrand? And
2005, I moved from Portland, Oregon. Not proud of that.
That's all right.
Just because it's sad to me too whenever I go there to visit family.
Mhm.
It's just sad to see how it's went down.
Yeah.
Because it was not like that. It was beautiful in Portland. Right. Growing up there was a wonderful experience.
Right.
But I would never raise my kids there.
Yeah.
But,
well, and I think that my daughter recently moved out of Portland and moved to over into the Vancouver area, just because.
Oh, a lot of people are doing that.
Yeah, just because it had changed. The climate of Portland has changed over the last few years.
Yeah.
So
2005, I moved here, just me and my kids. My mom ended up here from a friend or something. That's kind of strange how that works, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I moved here shortly after and got into real estate about 2008, I think it was. And I was with Century 21 for a few years and then with Remax.
Well, cool.
So, yeah.
So if you had some advice that you were going to give potential buyers, what would you, and you could kind of boil it down into a nutshell, what would you tell them? What's some?
Well, I would tell them well, first of all, go see a lender. A lot of people think that costs money, or, that they don't know who to go to, or they don't understand how that works. But when you go see a lender, they can outline all the stuff that either needs to be paid down or get paid off, or there's even some that they say, don't worry about that because it's about ready to fall off your credit, or, however, each person's different, obviously, but I would definitely start there. So
good.
See,
And then is there some stuff that they can do in their own lives to make their credit better? And I mean, do you have any advice in that area?
Well, yeah, definitely. Just make sure you watch, don't just get any credit card and not pay it, and, make sure you're paying all your bills on time, and just, stuff like that. Or if they don't have one, it's important to start you have to establish credit somewhere, somehow. So
there's a little funny story. So when I was first married, and I was young, and my wife was complaining about the stress of paying the bills, and I said, okay, well, I'll take care of it, and so, and we were paying our bills electronically. And so at the beginning of the month, so at the beginning of the month came, and I paid them all, not really knowing that it took the check that we received in the second half of the month to afford to pay some of those bills,
Right.
So it's a little bit more complicated than depending on your financial situation. Yeah.
And I like to, and that's a very true fact for a lot of people, even myself. So I like to, just be able to, people tend to get really comfortable with me, and so, and comfortable with, sharing their finances with me, so I can guide them along to stuff like that, situations like that too.
Well, that's excellent. Well, Jamie, hey, thanks so much for being with us today. And we really appreciate Remax in their partnership with us. Tell us one more time where the office is downtown.
Oh, it's at 12145 Adams Avenue, right next to Bella's.
Yeah. Okay.
I would say that Bank Umpqua, but it's not there anymore. So
right.
That's how I used to explain it. But yeah.
All right. So, well, thanks so much.
Yep.
Appreciate you being here.
EOA Live is your connection to Eastern Oregon. Get the latest and most relevant news in 2 minutes or less on our evening news broadcast. We cover Eastern Oregon's weather daily with Gabe, the EOA Live weather kid, with an extended forecast every Friday. Watch Doddsy on EOA Live Sports to get the latest sports information and interviews with local coaches, athletes, and more. See Brent and Doddsy goof and gaff with local guests on EOA Live's morning talk show, AM Live on EOA. We're available across the board, including Facebook, YouTube, Amazon Fire, and of course, our very own website, eolive.tv. We even have our own Roku channel with 24/7 live stream EOA content. You can also listen to our shows on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and many other popular podcast apps. You can get everything all in one place with the EOA Live app, available on Android, iOS, and the Amazon App Store. EOA Live, your connection to Eastern Oregon.
All right, we're back. Glad that you guys are here with us this morning on this day. So cool to have a partnership with Remax.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
Yep. So she's like the hub. Like she
you can
people
tell.
first talk to her, and then she just ships them to the agents.
Yeah. Or I mean,
gatekeeper.
Well, and the one that keeps everybody lined out, and they're
you probably got to keep that office a little lined out, I would imagine.
Yeah.
if I just had to guess. BC, did you know that So like, when you look at like a bright sky and you see like the white dots,
Mhm.
you know what that is?
The stars.
No,
Oh.
it's your blood. It's your white blood cells that you're seeing.
When you look at the sky and
Yeah, like you see the white dots,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's your white blood cells.
Really?
Yeah.
I always wonder what those little goober things that
That float across.
floaters. Yeah,
It's just like hair or fuzz, I would imagine.
No, it's actually stuff. It's the I read about this not too long ago. They're goobers that form in they're not called goobers, but they're they're like it is inside the fluid that is in the eye. Yeah, and so it's kind of
if you have a group
floaters,
of 23 people, a group, there's a 50% chance that 2 of them will share the same birthday. Isn't that crazy? That doesn't seem right mathematically, but
23 people,
50% chance that 2 of them will share the same birthday.
Yeah,
there's 365. How many days in the year? 365.
Yeah,
on a leap year, or 366 on a leap year.
366 on a leap year. 65 the other 3. Yeah,
that doesn't seem mathematically right to me. But I mean, that's what it says. I mean, it's the internet. It has to be right.
It has to be. Have you? We were talking with some friends the other day about how they did the draft during, when they were doing the drafts, and they did that based on the calendar year. I don't know if you knew that. So I mean, they would have a public. They would have a broadcasted TV, and they would have 365 or 366 dates up, and they would draw out of like a lottery, draw a thing.
If your birthday came up,
you were like the number
Hunger
1
Games,
draft.
Kinda.
Yeah, you were the number 1. Yeah, so it was like March 25th. Boom, you're going first. And that's how.
Did you know there's only one animal on the planet that has rhythm? Did you know that? What do you think it is?
Well, other than humans?
Yeah,
I have no idea.
Sea lions. They're the only animal that can clap to a beat.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Isn't that weird?
That is.
Sea lions. Here's another good one. You know what a drop bear is? A koala. They call them drop bears in Australia.
Yeah.
That when they're babies, their parents feed them poop. Feed them their poop. They do, because it helps them digest eucalyptus.
Oh my.
Yeah. It's weird. There's some sort of acid in there that helps the babies digest.
They are so cute. I was in Australia.
They ain't really that cute, BC. No. Not in the wild.
No. Well, they are cute. They smell. I can tell you that.
They carry chlamydia too. Probably don't want. I mean, I'm not. I'm passing on that.
Yeah.
You know what a donkey and a zebra mixed together is?
No.
A zonkey. They really have them.
Really?
Yeah. Zonkies.
Zonkey.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're sterile, kind of like mules.
Well, isn't a donkey sterile? Mules aren't sterile, are they?
I think mules are sterile.
Wait, is a mule a donkey and a horse? No.
Right.
A donkey is a mule and a horse.
No, a donkey is its own thing. A mule is a donkey and a horse.
Okay, right. So donkeys aren't sterile. Mules are.
Right. Yeah.
That's weird, isn't it?
I know. Why is that? Why would that be?
No idea.
So does that mean that? I mean, it'd be interesting if we had someone who was a mule expert. So then every mule is kind of an original. I mean, it has to be bred every time.
Yeah.
The species of
Yeah, they can't breed. They can't breed together to make more mules.
Yeah. Right.
Huh. Weird. Do you know why Alfred Nobel? You know who Alfred Nobel is?
The one who did the Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah, it's named after him. Do you know what he did significant that made them name the Nobel Peace Prize after him?
I know what he did.
He invented something really important.
Well, he invented TNT.
Yeah, that's why they named the Nobel Peace Prize after him.
Well, but I thought that he did something after that. I mean, the story I remember hearing is that he woke up one day, and they had his the story of his death was in the newspaper. And it so impacted his life because he's like, the only thing I'm going to be remembered for is that I'm the one that created TNT. And at that time, this was like around the Second World War, or maybe between the wars, and everybody was dying. TNT had turned into explosives, and people were dying, and so. And so then he decided, like, I want to be remembered for something other than something terrible. So I don't know.
Do you know that if we ever do live in space, we'll never be able to take birds with us?
Because there's no oxygen to fly,
No,
or
there's no gravity. They have to have gravity to swallow. They don't have the ability to swallow like us.
Oh,
They have
interesting.
to have gravity, so a bird wouldn't be able to live.
Wouldn't be able to survive.
Yeah, no. Unless you found out. I mean, you could take a feeding tube
Yeah.
and take a bird up there, I guess, but yeah, they can't swallow.
Huh.
They
Weird.
have to have gravity to swallow. We have some weird stuff on this planet. Like, there is some definitely weird things going on. Like,
Yeah.
trippy. You see that shark that they found in the trench, in the Mariana Trench? They got pictures of it. It is monstrous. Like, it's megalodon size.
Really?
Yeah, they got it on video. It's Shark Week.
Huh.
So yeah, it's like large. We were talking about this at the poker room. The orcas, man. Orcas are crazy. Orcas attack great whites. They eat the liver out of them.
Do they?
Yes. And they do it like systematically, and like a gang almost. Like they'll circle around and separate sharks from group. They're scary.
That's why they call them the sea wolves.
Yeah, they're definitely the alpha. Everybody always thought great whites alpha. No, nah, orcas are the.
Have you seen them? I've seen video of them trying to get a seal off of a floating chunk of ice.
Yeah, they breach, huh?
Yeah, I mean, so what they no, I mean the ones that I know the ones that I've seen, they create waves. I mean, systematically together.
Yeah,
they create waves, and then the thing, hopefully,
Well,
it's crazy.
An orca is basically a great white mixed with a dolphin. So like the smart, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like they're smart like a dolphin.
Yeah.
But then they have that predatory, just killer instinct like a great white. Somebody told me that the reason why their fin, you know how when they're in captivity, a lot of them's fins droop.
Mm-hmm.
They said that that's because they're in captivity.
I had heard that.
Yeah, that's crazy, huh? Like,
yeah.
Like in the beginning, you know, Free Willy, oh, his fin, he's got a. It's because we're putting him in a pool. Like he probably doesn't. He's probably not real happy in that pool.
Right. Right.
There's one. I read a story because we talked about him, so I started reading about one in captivity killed 3 people. 3 people. Yeah, they got attitudes. I wouldn't swim with one. No way. No.
Yeah.
I'd rather take my chances swimming with great whites than swimming with them things.
Well, and what's funny is that tells you marketing right there. It's like, yeah. So the marketing of Free Willy makes everybody think that they're nice, and the marketing of sharks is like they're horrible, which But anyhow, it's like the one to be feared is really.
One time a guy was at a place where they had one captive, and he thought it would be funny. He jumped over and jumped in with it, and it just it was not good for the guy. No. Those things are big too. They're not. No, they don't play.
Yeah,
I think Free Willy gave people a false sense of security, like you said. Like, oh yeah, it's so cute. Like, yeah, it's real cute until it's coming at you with its mouth open, and it swims about 100 times faster than you.
Right. Yeah.
And it's probably 1,000 times bigger.
And they're meat eaters. They're like,
they're carnivorous. Like, they don't play.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is like people, they have a misconception too about great whites, that great white is the
worst ever,
the alpha of the ocean, and it's not even it's not even comparable. Great whites like bow down to orcas, like they don't.
Right, but it's what is part of what the deal is with the great whites is just the look. I mean, they are sleek.
They're ferocious.
They look like a fighter jet. I mean, they just
they're scary.
Yeah.
And then Jaws kind of pushed that along.
Oh,
too.
man.
I mean, like people had nightmares
Yeah.
about that movie.
Yeah. You know whose big movie that was?
No.
And it's Spielberg. That was
That
was Spielberg's first big hit. Yeah.
It was a good movie.
Yeah.
Well, the one thing I want to add, don't forget about the Moonlight Tournament, August 5th through 7th. The 5th is a Friday. That's the weekend of Shrine, so I won't even get to go check it out. I'm kind of bummed about it because I mean, Moonlight was a big part of my younger life, but you know, it is what it is. I think they said they have like 14 teams right now. So if you're interested, you can get a hold of Jeff Hamilton. His phone number's on there. Or you can go to the website, call that phone number on there, and get a team put together. That'd be cool.
Good deal. Well, you want to get us out of here?
Yeah, let's get us out of here. On this day, this is the day before my birthday. We don't have a show on my birthday tomorrow.
That's right.
But it's an uneventful. But we were talking about that in the car yesterday. The important birthdays are 21, 25, right? Because your insurance goes down at 25.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
And then 30, 40, every decade.
Right.
But this one, 29 doesn't matter. Some people think I'm about that age. As long as I have a hat on and I cover the gray wings.
Yeah, maybe that.
Like, yeah. Oh, and I got new hats last night. My guy, he always hooks it up. I'm going to give him a little shout out. He's a college baseball player. He's a fiddler. He plays the fiddle in a country band.
Oh, that's funny.
He owns Ballpark Prints, and EOU gave him the rights to recreate their sports stuff. And man, I mean, if you look at this hat, affordable, fitted, nice hats. Man, he's a good dude too. So I mean, he deserves everything that's coming to him. He was Player of the Year at EOU baseball. He's a catcher. We had a nice long conversation yesterday, and he was talking about how he don't party because his focus is getting through. And he's a college dude, like that's very rare.
Right. His
focus is he wants to go to dental school. He plays fiddle for a pretty big band that travels all over the Northwest.
Really?
Yeah, it's really cool actually. And then he owns this business, and it's blowing up. I mean, he made like 140 hats for Wood Green the other day. He's making noise. These patch hats are really popular right now. He uses a laser etcher. Right. And then he just bought an embroidery machine, so we might end up using him. I mean, I'm trying to get a quote, but yeah, right. I mean, he's reliable. Every time I've put an order with him, he's had it to me. He communicates. He's like he'll send me a message like, "Hey, I'll have those hats on the road right now." Da 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 da. He's got it together really good for a kid his age.
Wow,
pretty impressive.
That's great.
All right, on this day, 1775, July 26th. The postal system was established by the Second Continental Congress of the United States. Who's the first postmaster general?
Thomas Jefferson.
Benjamin Franklin.
Benjamin Franklin.
Yep.
All right.
1881, Thomas Edison and Patrick Kenny execute a patent application for the facsimile telegraph.
Wow.
1881. 1947. President Harry S. Truman signed the National Security Act. What did that do, BC?
47, National. Yep. Truman.
Yep.
National Security
It established Act. Something. The National Security Act established
NATO.
Something pretty important.
NATO?
No, the CIA.
CIA?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
1947.
Okay.
1990. U.S. President George H.W. Bush signed the American with Disabilities Act. 1990, 32 years ago on this day. The number one song in the country on this day in 2002 was Nelly. Hot in here. You know, this guy, Nelly was a heck of a baseball player. He was drafted. Yeah, he was a really good baseball player. But obviously he made way more money going the route of
right. Yeah.
Nelly's kind of a household name. His songs, Country Grammar, Batter Up. He has a song about baseball. It's called Batter Up. And in the early 2000s, he was as hot as anybody. I mean, everybody knew who Nelly was. So, quote for the day. It's a photography quote. Photography is an art of observation. It has little to do with the things you see and everything to do with the way you see them. One more time. Photography is an art of observation. It has little to do with the things you see and everything to do with the way you see them. That's something I've really learned.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? It does, like I'm not out there, like when I'm taking sports pictures, I'm not out there to get the best shot of the sport. Like my whole thing is I want to see the I want to capture that moment when like somebody's, you know, like just overwhelmed with the emotion of the game. That's what I love. I mean, that's what I loved about sports.
Yeah.
Is just that adrenaline and the emotion. And that's why I was a pitcher, because although I love team sports, I like dominating people one-on-one. And when you're a pitcher, it's you and the batter. I mean, that's all there is to it. Like you're trying to get that guy out any way you can.
Right.
And the thing that I loved about baseball is it's not like football or basketball. Right? Football, you can, if you have a lead, you can kneel, you can run the clock out, right?
Right.
Basketball, you can hold on to the ball for the shot clock, run the clock out. Baseball, if you have a lead, you still got to throw the ball over the plate,
right,
and give them a shot,
right.
And that's what I loved about baseball.
Yeah,
like it's there's always a chance,
right?
Not like football, where if you're up by
you're right,
a touchdown with 2 minutes left, you can just kneel,
right,
and the game's over.
Right.
Yeah. We'll be back on Thursday.
Good stuff.
Yep. See you Thursday.
All right. Thank you.